Hello, everyone. We'll leave just a few minutes for everybody to get the chance to connect. All right. So let's start. So welcome to this webinar. We're very happy to have you here again. This webinar today is the last one in our three-part series. So we started in April looking at AI and real-time dashboards. We then went on to how we can optimize the supplier management with Supplier 360 and analytics. And today we'll see how we can build an efficient supplier portal with third-party data providers and an enhanced user experience. So today we'll be using the Q&A function. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll have an icon where you have the chance to ask your questions during the webinar. We will review all your questions at the end. And if we don't have the time to answer everything today, we'll answer by email later. Then we'll use also a poll functionality. So get ready to have a pop-up appearing and have a question being asked. And at the end of the presentation, you will get an email with the replay of this webinar. So you'll be able to watch it again or even share with your colleagues. So today we'll be presenting Philippe and I. So I'm Anais Perez, Head of Product Management. I've been in the company for around 7 years now. And I started as a consultant, so working directly with some of you. And now I'm working on in the product area to try to deliver the features that bring the most values to your companies. Philippe, on to you.
Thanks, Anais. Good morning, everyone. That's a pleasure to see you for that third webinar on the product new features. So I'm Philippe Proveller, the head of pre-sales and working for this company for almost 10 years now.
Thank you, Philippe. So quick run through the agenda. So we'll start as usual looking at the objectives of a supplier portal that companies usually have when implementing one. Then which is the state of the procurement department? What are the challenges that you face when implementing one? And what kind of efficiency you can get from a supplier portal. Then we'll go through a demonstration of how we do that with those third-party data providers and the enhanced user experience that we have in this new version. Then we'll finish with the key takeaways and the Q&A session. So just quickly, before we get into the topic, if you don't know Synertrade, we're a procurement technology vendor. We've been on the market for 25 years. We have around 200 employees, around 10 offices worldwide, and we represent 200 customers, which in system platform terms are representing 400,000 users and more than 4 million suppliers. About the platform, so we cover the whole source-to-pay process. So from supplier relationship management, onboarding, qualification, evaluations, action plans, then onto the source to contract. So anything related to tender, auction negotiations, and contracting. And finally, to the operational procure-to-pay, where we can manage catalogs, create purchase requests, orders, deliveries, etc. So we've been recognized over the years by some of the major analysts, such as Gartner, Spend Matters, Ardent, or the Hackett Group. So on to today's topic. So the main objectives that we can see when we are implementing a supplier portal are first easing the collaboration with the suppliers. So if you don't have a supplier portal, it's very hard for the supplier to know who they need to reach at your company and at every of their customers' company. This is a loss of time for them, but also for you, because you might receive a lot of requests, have a lot of processing time of those emails, phone calls, and that's highly inefficient. Without talking about the fact that it's much harder to follow any activity that you have in common. So this is very hard, very time-consuming for both the supplier and your company. Then we have auditability. We know that procurement teams are asked to deliver fair practices, ethical practices. So when you have no proof of this, you are threatened by whistleblowing and without the ability to prove otherwise. So auditability provides a protection against the whistleblowings that might be where someone can be wrongly accused. So this is a protection for the individual as well as the company. And then you have the fact that you have a single source of truth. So even if you have a good collaboration with your suppliers in some platforms and you have the auditability, if you have one place where you gather all the information, that is highly going to help you to make decisions. So when you have a group with very spread data, it's often very time consuming for buyers to get all that data together before they can take a decision. So again, this is about streamlining all of your activities as a procurement department. So a quick poll before we see the state of procurement departments. What is your supplier portal status? So do you already have one? Do you have several ones? Are you in implementation? Do you have a pilot, or do you have no plan to implement one? We'll leave you a few seconds. And Philip, you tell me if we have answers.
Sure. Answers missing again. So please vote.
No answers?
Oh, I have one. Yes,
Okay.
sure. Well, I was expecting all the participants to answer, but in fact, the result is quite obvious because all the persons who answered already have a supplier portal.
Okay. We're expecting our customers to have one supplier portal, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the state of the CPOs? So one survey from Deloitte from this year has shown that the CPOs are expecting value from the three top areas, being digital transformation, renegotiating with existing suppliers, and increasing the level of supplier collaboration. So all three are related to supplier portal. So this is highly relevant for procurement departments to have that enablement to get to that value that is expected from the CPOs. So the challenge is, so even though these are the top three areas of focus, we can see from research from PwC, again from this year, that only 32% of companies are using supplier portals to improve collaboration with their partners. So that shows that it's not always used in the way where you get to that value and where you get to the expected benefits that you would initially have when you implement a supplier portal. So the usual culprits when digitization is not working are the integration complexities when you are working with a lot of systems, and this gets very messy. Then we have the data issues, which is also linked. So with data issues, when you start implementing a supplier portal, what we see is that you often discover what data issues you have that you didn't know you have. So this is a good thing, that you actually get aware of the problem of the data, and that can be fixed over time. It's not straight away, but that can be fixed over time. And this is also where we can see that third-party data providers can help. And then we have the technology that didn't meet the expectation. So when we're talking about supplier portals, we are talking about collaboration, and we're expecting that this is easy to do for the supplier. So that's why we've put a lot of emphasis in our roadmap and in our evolutions on the user experience, because we want to get to that point where the suppliers have a real easy experience, and for your departments also to very easily collaborate with them. So what efficiencies can we expect when we have a supplier portal? So it's been shown in the research that between 40 and 60% of innovation opportunities are coming from suppliers. So when we look at that, if you're thinking of innovation on cost cutting, so this is not always working against suppliers, but sometimes you can work with suppliers to optimize the cost. You can work on delivering faster your customers. You can work on new products. So this is really an area where you can bring that value to the company and really differentiate your organizations from others with your suppliers. So this is what is at stake, and we can understand from that the CPOs are really putting these supplier collaboration into focus to get to that value. So now on to you, Philippe. Let's see a demonstration of how we address supplier portal.
Thank you. So let me just share my screen first. Here it is. Right. Perfect. Is that okay? Nice. You see the platform. Great.
Perfect.
Right. So let me today introduce you to the features we introduced in that new version 5.1. So as a reminder, first, just to begin, the brand new dashboard that we have since 5.0. So here, that's the main dashboard. When I arrive on the platform, where I can track all the main KPIs, my tasks to perform, the several alerts regarding my suppliers, and the shortcuts to access quickly the pages I like to access. So then let me first go to the suppliers hub that we introduced in 5.0, but that we enhanced in 5.1. So here, same principle as the main dashboard. So I have some shortcuts, the tasks I have to perform, some supplier insights regarding the risk. And then today I would like to focus on my ongoing events. That's where you can track everything that it's ongoing with your supplier. So as you can see, some qualification in progress with one supplier, and a number of days that's left before the end, an action plan ongoing. But here I'd like to emphasize on that point. So the survey. So in fact, I've requested to 5 suppliers to upgrade some answers that they submitted in a specific questionnaire. So thanks to that shortcut, I can track in few seconds whether they answered or not to that questionnaire, answered or updated their answers. I mean, that's where I can track the evolution of for every single supplier. So I can see here the survey status, if they answered or not, if they published the answer or not. And if not, I have here, thanks to that little envelope, I can send directly a reminder to the supplier saying, okay, you have 5 days left to answer to that question. Please submit your answers quickly. So when I click on that supplier, for example, just to track the evolution of the answer, I arrived to that to those answers. So here I ran directly in the questionnaire, and as you can see, I have both English and French, meaning that here I'm connected with my main account, which is in English. Okay, I usually work in English, but on that questionnaire, the suppliers answered in French. Okay, so in fact, I'm not French speaker at all. Okay, I don't know that language. So what we introduced in 5.1 is the automatic translation. So here, by simply click on translate answers, automatically the platform translate the answers from French to English, okay, in a few seconds, barely automatically. And it works. I've mixed some answers, so the supplier is quite funny because he answered as well in German, but as you can see, it worked as well. So the supplier can mix several languages. It doesn't matter for me. Everything will be translated in my own language. So that's a plus for you because you don't have to pay attention to the questions and the formats they will answer to that. And the supplier, it's much more comfortable for him because he can answer directly in his own language. Okay, that's better for him. Okay. So that's the new AI feature that we introduced in 5.1, the automatic translation in the questionnaires. Then, so that's a part of having a collaborative and an efficient collaboration with your suppliers. And then let me continue with some features that we introduced. So we have now a standard interface with Dun & Bradstreet. So thanks to that interface, you can collect directly, thanks to that integration, the main information regarding that company. So the first one, of course, we introduced several main information that we've decided to integrate with in Synertrade. So the main basic ones. Okay, so the first one are regarding the identity. Okay, so I have the basic information, the address, the several registration numbers. So in fact, those information might be difficult for you and for the suppliers to get. Okay, so automatically, thanks to Altice, I have those information directly. Okay, so that's a time saving for you and for the supplier if you ask those information to him. Same thing then for the corporate linkage. Is that the mother company or a subsidiary? Okay, you have this information. The global ultimate number, the city, etc., etc. Same thing for the financial information. So the last known information of that company. Same thing for the risk KPI. So is that risky to work with that company? So here we can see that the risk is quite low. So that company is is reliable. So we can work with Gian Bruno without any issue. So that part will save you a lot of time, okay? Because you simply have to rely on Altice to get those information. Then I would like to show you the new partnership we have with Society, because here I'm going to talk about the banking information of the suppliers. So companies might have several bank accounts, of course, but it's quite difficult to check if they are real or not and accurate or not. Okay, so here we simply have a partnership with Society who will check for you directly via the platform if the bank account exists and is the correct one. So now I've made two examples. It's quite simple. The supplier will put the bank information, and then here you will simply have to click on check bank account, and automatically you will have the results. So here in that case, of course, those IBAN numbers or fake ones. So that's why it's not green but yellow. Here the conclusion of Society is inconclusive. Okay, it's not accurate enough to say if the bank account is linked to that company or not, and if the IBAN number is the correct one or not. So by a simple click, you can check if the bank information are correct or not. Very simple. So that's the second fact that we introduced in 5.1, the ability to check the bank information. Then another integration we have now in standard is EcoVadis. So here, EcoVadis, what we wanted to have is simple scores. I mean, you know the way Ecovalis score the company. So here we wanted just to collect the main scores. And if the user would like to have some more information, he has the deep link towards the scorecard directly in Ecovalis to go a little bit further in the analysis. Okay, if I want to check the scores, if I want to check the strength, the weaknesses, and so on, I can check directly in Ecovalis. But in Synertrade, we need to keep that simple, easy to read for the users. So that's the first part. Then we introduce as well the carbon information. We know that today for our clients, it's something that's really important to track in terms of supplier information. So we introduce the very same thing here, just the level of carbon management of that company. And as for the CSO information, if I want to go deeper in the analysis, I simply have to click on that deep link. Okay. So we wanted to keep that simple. The key information, that's it. And if you want to go further, just click on the link to go in Ecovalis directly. Then we as well wanted to improve the way you find the information, the ongoing information in terms of sourcing, for example. So maybe you've sent several RFPs or projects to your suppliers, and you would like to track what's the status of each of them. Here now in the sourcing hub, as well as the suppliers hub, we introduce the sourcing hub in order to track the ongoing events. So here I have that tender ongoing, and if I click on it, I directly redirect it toward the change tracking report in order to follow up the actions performed by my suppliers and my colleagues directly in this project. So it avoids me from navigating in the project module, then find the relevant project, and then click on change tracking report in order to follow up the activity. Here, in only one click from the sourcing hub, clicking on the name of the project, and I know directly in a few seconds the status of this project. So here I know that no one answered for the moment to that project, but that's okay. Then if I just go back to the home page, I would like to as well to speak about the direct collaboration we have on the platform, thanks to the chat. So that's something that we reintroduced in 5.1 and we improved in terms of features. So here, as you can see, like in any social network or LinkedIn, you have notifications. So here, meaning that I received a message from a supplier for that specific purchase order. Okay. So for the moment, this feature, the chat feature, is used for the peer collaboration in order to allow the supplier to tell you, okay, maybe I have an issue on that order, I didn't have enough stock, I need to postpone delivery, or any other relevant information. You can directly chat with your supplier through the platform. So if I take this example so that's just an issue of stock and the supplier needed to split delivery into 2 dates instead of 1. And here I can answer to my supplier, and I can, so we improve that. So you can format your message as you want, and you can attach some documents. That was not the case in the previous versions. Important to know as well is that you can, of course, you can reduce it, you can move it from the right to the left. I mean, you can do whatever you want with that. And in the next release, you will have the possibility, because we are going to introduce an AI use case in the chat. You will be able to make some requests to get information from the supplier database. Okay, if you want to make a request on whatever information within the suppliers, it will be possible via those chats, and you will chat directly with the AI, okay, making some requests. So that's something that has been improved, and we're continuing to improve it for the next releases. But today, as you can see, we improved the collaboration from between you and your suppliers, and we improved the way you find the relevant information regarding the companies you're working with. So that's it for me, Anaïs. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Philippe. I'll share again.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so key takeaways. We've seen that with Synertrade, you can much more easily track your activities. You get the data much more accurate from your data providers. We've seen examples from EcoVadis for ESG, carbon data. We have seen the Dun & Bradstreet for financials. We have seen CID with the check of the bank account to avoid the bank fraud. So that for you is much faster in terms of processes, and you can make much faster approvals. So that gives you also more confidence when taking any decision. It streamlines the collaboration with the supplier. So we've seen, for example, with the chat, we've seen with the follow-up of the activities, whether you're looking at the questionnaire or you're looking at your RFX. So that's that's consolidated for you. And again, much faster to process any activity. For the AI use case, we thought about those suppliers that you have at the international. You might be working in one language, like Philippe was in English, and you might have also suppliers that can only answer you in a foreign language, and you cannot interpret that data. So again, that's much faster for you rather than going outside of your supplier portal and trying to get that translation. You get directly the AI doing that work for you, and you can make, again, that decision much faster. You have more accurate information. So here I cannot stress enough the value of the data providers when it comes to have that information. That is much likely that the supplier answers correctly once in one data provider than 100 times in 100 supplier portals from their customers. You have also automated updates, so you make sure that that you don't have to always start requesting data from your supplier, but you delegate a bit that to the data provider and you receive updates as they come. And you have less manual verification with SysID, so you have less errors, you have less fear about having a bank fraud. It's again less burdensome for your suppliers, so they have to input less data, and that means that for them it requires much less resources to answer any information request that you might have. So they don't need to get the quality department, the commercial department, the production department to get involved every time they have some information to provide at every single customer they have. So at the end, it's a win-win-win. So that's a value for your organization because you have improved the supplier collaboration. You're much faster. You have more opportunity to innovate with those suppliers rather than work on daily administrative tasks. That's a win for you because you have more time for value-added activities, and you're faster and you're more confident in taking those decisions. And for your suppliers, it is much less burdensome too, and you leave them the opportunity to answer in their language where they are more comfortable. So at the end, again, it's a win-win-win. We're focusing more on people and functions when we're building our versions rather than the features. So now onto the Q&A. While you were doing the demo, Philippe, I answered a few of them, but yeah. what else do we have?
Yes, about the AI pricing. So the question is, how do we price the AI features that we implemented?
All right, so for anything pricing related, I would guide you to either your account manager or your CSM, and they will review according to the functionalities that you have at the moment and calculate that for you. So this is better to do it like that. If you don't know who to contact within the company, you can directly contact us, Philippe or I, and we will redirect you to the right person.
Okay, another one. How do we go about implementing partners? So because we spoke about SysID, EcoVadis, DNB.
Yeah. So again, if you are interested about any of those partners we've talked about, we're happy to put you in touch with them to be able to evaluate them and go a bit further. Like we had a question on the carbon earlier, so we're happy to put you in contact with them to evaluate a bit more the kind of data and to make some tests in some cases. And we are not reselling. We are having a different contract than the data provider. So you pick your data providers and we integrate with them.
Okay, maybe the last one, an easy one. I mean, in which version will this be available?
All right, so this is already available. So you have that in 5.1, which just came out last month. If you are interested in upgrading, you feel free again to get in touch with your CSM. If you don't know who to get in touch with at Synertrade, feel free again to reach us and we'll put you in contact and we'll schedule that. And we're a bit over time, so if we have any more question, I propose we answer via email.
No, that's it for the questions.
Great. So thank you very much for your attendance. Feel free to follow us on LinkedIn and to keep in touch and see our next webinars coming. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Bye.